Recently, Tufenkian Foundation celebrated its 20th anniversary with a public event in New York. The event, which took place at the Tufenkian Artisan Carpets Showroom in Manhattan, focused on one of Armenia's most pressing social, economic, and environmental issues, responsible mining and the activism surrounding it.
We want mining to be practiced responsibly. And this is why the Tufenkian Foundation is the principal funder of the MLRI, the Mining Legislation Reform Institute, which is designed to promote and ultimately pass legislation in Parliament that is enforceable, that will create a new regime for mining that is clean, progressive, and hopefully will actually feed into the state coffers and enrich the country, rather than enriching the pockets of the few.
Known for his accomplishments as lead singer for System of a Down, Serj Tankian has become increasingly vocal on a range of issues in Armenia, including the adverse effect of irresponsible mining.
I've been involved with the Tufenkian Foundation a few years ago. I went to Artsakh with the foundation, and when the foundation was giving away homes to some displaced Armenians in the liberated territories, so that was a wonderful experience. But I really feel like mining overall, especially open pit mining, is incredibly dangerous to our environment and in long-term damage compared to short-term profits. But the new government, as you can see already, is much more into doing its due diligence to make sure that the environment assessment reports were properly done. They're doing their own environmental assessment report right now.
Through slideshow presentation, Verint Maggard, Executive Director of the Mining Legislation Reform Institute, gave a snapshot of what Armenian mining sector looks like, outlining the systematic problems the industry faces. This included dumping mining waste into rivers and waterways, heavy metal entering the food supply, health effects of mining on local communities, including on children, poorly trained and unprotected workers, among other issues.
At being responsible with the way we do mining. That doesn't mean we stop mining. That means we look at it, we assess it, we make it better, we make it work for Armenia and Armenia's people.
In an emotional speech, founder and chairman of the Tufenkian Foundation, James Tufenkian, spoke about several topics, including weak and incomplete mining legislation that has damaged the environment and enriched only a few rather than the nation as a whole. Similarly, Mr. Tufenkian expressed great hope of the new government in implementing fair and environmentally sound laws.
We have to do it under a scenario where it's beneficial for the nation. So, 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I started the Mining Legislation Reform Initiative, kind of with an inkling of all of this. And the idea was to create new laws governing mining that would make mining a good deal for the country of Armenia and its people. It would require them to pay the maximum amount of revenue for the minerals they extract and do the least amount of harm to the nation. At that time,
the event concluded with Q&A with the audience, during which Mr. Tufenkian and other speakers had an opportunity to answer questions from the audience.
Tufenkian believes in philanthropy, not in charity. He believes in investing on the ground, directly to the people, to empower people rather than patronize people. And I'm very proud that I know him. He's a great man and great benefactor.